I've always loved creating. My name is Karen Schmidt. I am an artist. I'm a sculptor primarily, and do focus on liturgical art, which is basically art for the church. As a child, I remember building things. I don't think I even saw that connection until recently. I was always coloring and drawing and things like that. I didn't think of myself as becoming an artist. I wasn't raised to think that there were many possibilities for me as a woman, unfortunately. So I had to be really creative for those kinds of, to do anything. But I had opportunities in school, and it wasn't long before I realized I can really do this. Religion plays a huge role in my life. It went from being something that was ideological and something you do on Sundays to something that became more of a relationship with God. I didn't start out intending to be a liturgical artist. I just started with figures, and that was wonderful for me. But my faith is really an important part of my life, and so it comes out in the way I live, the choices I make, but it comes through my art, even art that you wouldn't say is religious. So I think that sacred, secular is kind of a false dichotomy. I think that everything is sacred. I consider it a calling to do work like this. The process for making a sculpture that I approach as an artist is first to establish the relationship with the client. So we come up with the idea, and I do a small sketch, 6-inch figures, and sketch it in clay so we can say, oh, is this what you want? So sometimes they can't articulate what they want, so the sketch is where we flesh that out. From there, I do a 12-inch figure to 18-inch figure for what we call a maquette or a model. And from that, I enlarge it to a larger size if they want life size or 3/4 monument size. From there, I take it to the foundry. They do another mold, a one-piece cement mold, from which they can melt out the wax and pour in the hot bronze, because the cement will hold the 2200 degree bronze. Then they take the pieces, sandblast it, weld it together, and match the texture. Then we wax it and we're done. I think that my work can be understood by Christians and non-Christians alike, or people of any faith, because I'm talking about themes that are universal, like a mother and child, relationships between two women, how we care for each other. That can speak to anyone. I think struggle is a huge thing that everybody deals with. There are times I'll pause from my liturgical work and do something that reflects something more personal. My bound is one of those, and that was when I was just fighting the clay. I was playing with it. I was experiencing the frustration of my feeling blocked as an artist, of my perfectionism being something that keeps my hands tied. So I think that perfectionism can be a real hindrance. And being aware of it and working, towards it, you can say, I gotta be a big girl and get in there and do the work, Okay, how does sculpting benefit me as an artist? What does it do for me inside? I think for one thing, I'm doing something that I'm good at, and it is so satisfying. And to communicate something that is difficult to communicate and something that touches people. I find that when people come and see my work, and when it's all together, they have an emotional response, almost everyone. I've seen people cry in front of my work. one woman looked at Bound and said, "Oh my gosh, that's my life." And I was really touched by it. It's scary to put yourself out there and to express those deepest things in you, in your art. And so it pushes me to grow, continue to grow. Yeah, I'm approaching retirement age, but I only started this 20 years ago, so I don't really want to retire. I'll be doing art the rest of my life.